So basically, my intention today is to do a quick walkthrough to the Smart Readiness Virtual Training Center. From the first sign up, in case you haven't already signed up, till the obtention of the course certificate once you finalize going through all the materials. So my main objective is that today you leave the webinar with a clear picture and roadmap of what the Smart Readiness Virtual Training Center offers and how to interact with the different materials with a view to upscaling your knowledge in Smart Ready buildings. I think you can all see my screen. This is the landing page. So this would be the first step, answering the question, how to access the platform. First, what you would need to do is to access the link that was also just pasted in the chat, smartreadiness-training.eu. And the first step would be to create an account. So here you can either sign up with Google if you have a Google account, or you can go through the steps of creating a new account by setting your username, password, email address, and so on. As I have a Google account set up, I will just use. It's quite seamless. So you receive an email in your inbox, and then you are able to access the platform. And if not, you can go through the steps of creating a new account. Once you're logged in, email hasn't reached yet. So just quickly. And if not, I will, here we go. So you receive an email like this. Either way, if you use the Google SSO to sign in, or if you create the account, on clicking on the link, you are registered and your registration is confirmed. So that's quite straightforward. Upon having been logged in, you're able to access the platform. And this is what it looks like. You go to the home page, and you see at the moment the only course that is available on the Smart Readiness Virtual Training Center. This will be let's say the first step. You're already in the platform, as you see, is quite straightforward and easy. Once you're here, the next step is to enroll in the course, but you have a button here that says self-enroll, so you can also be autonomous in that way. Note how you don't need any support from anybody in either creating your user account or enrolling into the course. Once you're enrolled into the course, you're already in the environment that is going to provide the training. And the first thing that you see is a quick user tour that we have prepared in case you're not familiar with this kind of learning management systems in which this course is hosted. So we have a few step-by-step walkthrough that places you in the platform. You become aware that there is a site support. You can reset this kind of user tour anytime through that button, and you can contact site support in case you experience any technical issues while interacting with the platform. You become aware that this is the course menu where you can access the course materials, but you can see also other participants, check your grades, and check any badges that you may win as you progress through different milestones of the course. You just scroll down, you access the different materials, and this is something that we will get to in a minute. We have the course contents index on the left-hand side where you can quickly browse through the materials, and you access the same that you would by scrolling down. But in case you very quickly want to go to a certain specific activity, it might be quicker for you to just go through there. You identify the teachers, and one of the teachers is myself, and the other one is my colleague Nicolas from EUFIA. He's also in the call today, and he's not only the teacher of this, but one of the main developers behind the Smart Ready Go tool that my colleague Aphrodite showed. So I will, in case you have some very specific questions about the assessment tool, we'll see in a minute what role the tool plays within the training materials. But yeah, by identifying us here, if you click on our picture, you can quickly be directed to our profile, and feel free to write any message you may have to ask any questions. You have also a block with the general resources on the right-hand side, and I'll show you later on what quick access to some of the general resources offered by the platform there. And like in any other social media, you have some notifications where you can consult the different messages that you receive. By default, they are also sent via email, but this is something that you can change in the user profile preferences in case you don't want to receive them via email. You can access a messaging functionality where you can send private messages, like the one that I already mentioned, if you, in case you want to contact the teachers, for instance. But you can also send private messages to other users. And of course, you can access your profile where you can set different preferences, setting a profile picture, but also establishing the kind of notifications you wish to receive through the platform via email, among many others. So this is it. This is the user tour, and once you complete this, you are hopefully already placed and have a mind map about the platform and its main features. The next thing that you come across is probably this video in the forward. It's less than 2 minutes, and I'm gonna play it because it delves into further detail on the different materials. Hopefully, you can also hear the sound. This is the kind of overview that we have prepared. You can also find this video not only, of course, anytime that you access the course, but it's also in the YouTube channel of the project, and we have shared it through social media. But basically, it intends to give you this quick overview about what the course is, how many modules are there, what other resources you can find in the platform, and yeah, in a nutshell, what is the added value of interacting with it. I'm gonna, get into more of the details that we just saw here. Let me open the course index and the blocks that I mentioned earlier. But basically, we saw that we have 3 different modules. The first module, Smart Readiness Functions. We have estimated the time that it takes to complete the view of all the materials and completing the quiz in 5 hours. Then we have the Smart Readiness Assessment with an estimate time of 3 hours. And then we jump to the third module, which is the accreditation. Beyond that, you can access this same modules on the left-hand side, and yeah, you see all of this. First module that we saw in the video is composed with a theoretical block and then a quiz. On completion of the first module, access to the second module becomes enabled, and likewise, we have a zoom here so we can see it better. We have these 3 modules, and these 3 modules are the same ones that are numbered here. The first module is composed of these theoretical materials, which you would access either here or by scrolling down and clicking on the relevant module. You also have the quiz, And upon completion of the quiz, upon getting a pass grade, you are granted a badge that qualifies you as a Smart Readiness Explorer because you already completed the first module. When the first module is completed, you access the second, and the second is structured in a similar way, but beyond the theoretical materials and the quiz, it also has a practice exercise in which you're asked to assess the SRI of a predefined case study building that we define for you. And upon completion of that second module, you access the second badge that grants you the title of a Smart Readiness Assessor. And last but not least, we will get to the third and last module, in which there are no more theoretical materials, but you're asked to do an SRI of a building of your choosing. And you're asked to complete the exercise using the Smart Ready Go tool, as well as to provide what would be a report of an SRI assessment using a template that we provide in the additional resources. And upon completion of that, you have completed the learning itinerary and you're given a diploma that awards you the title of Smart Readiness Specialist, which can be brought to LinkedIn. Beyond the theoretical materials and the 3 modules, you see here that the course is coupled with a news and updates section where we would post any relevant new, not only related to the project, but also to policy updates related to smart buildings and any other, for instance, standardization improvement or the publication of any relevant material that can be interesting for smart ready buildings and the upscaling of the future SRI assessors. We also have a community forum where any of the participants can see and can access and exchange more, share any discussions topics that you may have. These resources that I'm sharing here, the news and updates, community forum, they can be accessed through the course index, but they're also always available here in the blogs, regardless of which page you're in. I didn't show this, but the news and updates, for instance, we posted the availability of this webinar, and we have a welcome message that is pinned to the top, so you always see it when you access the course. We have also prepared a glossary that is continuously kept updated. So in case you come up with a term through the materials that you are not sure you understand or that can be misleading, just feel free to write here, anything. And then, the glossary will take you to the definition of that given term, so you can clarify any doubts that may appear as you go on. And because we are true believers of this shared effort to increase the quality of materials through collaboration, we have created also the Spot and Report survey. So in case you come across, with anything that may be wrong or you see a typo, feel free to let us know by completing this survey. It would help us a lot to ensure that we keep our materials updated and with the highest quality as possible. Okay, this would be it, a quick walkthrough, and then we can get into the details about the theoretical materials, the quiz, and the exercises. I hope you see my screen fine, but in case, just feel free to let me know. Let me take a quick glimpse to the chat in case I saw something. I assume that it's more or less okay. Okay, so if we, let's get back to where we were. If I'm here in the course page, I'll skip tour because I've already seen it. And then if I scroll down, I can access the first module. And by accessing the first module, I get a description of what this is, what is included in this module. And we have the description of the steps that I mentioned and that they were shown in the video. So first step is to analyze the theoretical materials, and then you are able to attempt the associated quiz. So let's go to the theoretical materials first. Let me share just an example of what would be the first module. When you click here, you see that the materials are not a PowerPoint or a PDF. They are prepared in what we call SCORM package, which provides a great degree of interactiveness, and it's also learn at your own pace kind of thing. So when you start the course, you begin to scroll through the different lessons, And if you exit the activity halfway through, that's completely fine. And when you get back to the materials, you have a kind of automatic bookmark functionality that it will take you to the lesson in which you left off. So yeah, just scroll through the materials. There are some interactive elements where you can just click to get more information, and yeah, that kind of thing. Scroll through, and you progressively make your way through the materials. Of course, I'm not going to go through all the 5-hour worth of materials that we have here, but I really want for you to get a sense of what is the user experience when you access this materials. You continue, and yeah, you start reading, and particularly this the theory behind this module on smart readiness functions is the technical framework of the SRI, but also the relevant European standards like 52,120. I see that some of you have your mic open, so if you could please ensure that you're muted through the presentation. I don't know if Aphrodite, US manager, can ensure that everybody is muted, so we don't disturb the rest and myself. Okay, so yeah, basically this is the structure. So the smart readiness functions are, we have an introductory part, then we go through the 9 technical domains established in the SRI framework. And as we go forward, as we progress, we are able to see the next element. So this is kind of a learning sequence type of feeling. You learn about each functionality level, and you are given an example that illustrates in a more or less real scenario what would be that type of functionality. And like that, you progress through the materials, you learn, and yeah, at the end of each submodule, let's say you have a knowledge check question that try to also test yourself whether you understood the theoretical materials that were shown earlier on. This is not a quiz. This does not affect the grading that you receive as a student, but it's a tool to support for you to do a self-check of whether I understood what was the materials. And you just, if you don't react to it, you cannot see the next module. So, if you just go through it, you read it, and yeah, you can just maybe type here, and if you got it correct, that's great. You kind of self-assess your progress, but also if you got it wrong, you're able to take it again, and if not, you continue to the next module. And this is the feeling that you get by accessing the different the theoretical materials. Remember that you have an index here that says that 10% complete. And if I exit the activity and get back on it again, it is not like I'm going to be forced to take it from the start. I will be directed to where I left off, and I access it in the next day, the next week, whatever. And the program remembers where you left off. It's that you consolidated certain progress, and then you can continue in halfway through the heating lesson where you stop. So this would be it. When you while you haven't yet completed, so when this is 100% completed, you also would see here that this little bubble on the course index on the left-hand side becomes filled, and the general progress that you see here will update, and you would, let's say, consolidate the completion of the theoretical materials. But if not, when you're halfway through the activity, to track your progress, you need to access the activity itself to see that percentage. Okay, so this is the user experience regarding the theoretical materials. I don't know if Aphrodite, you can ensure that. Yeah, thank you. All right. The user tour, by the way, will be shown for the first 5 days that you since you access the platform first. But like you said, like you just saw, you can always skip it, and you can reset it in case you want to see it again after those few days that it becomes automatically available to ensure that you get a complete picture of the platform itself. Upon completion of the theoretical materials, the quiz becomes available. So you see here that until I complete the theoretical materials, I'm not able to take the quiz, because that's how we have shaped the learning itinerary. The idea is that you get trained first and then you can test the knowledge acquired. So you see that because I'm in this example user and I haven't yet completed the theoretical materials, I'm not able to access the course, to access the quiz, sorry. But what I will do, you are able to see the instructions. So quizzes in our platform are set in a way that you have 10 questions and 25 minutes to complete them. When the time is over, you're given a 3-minute grace where you can submitting open attempts, but you cannot edit anything else. And to pass, you need a minimum score of 5/10. There are not penalties for any incorrect answer you may provide, and you're allowed unlimited attempts, and the platform will always keep the highest score. So if you attempted once and you didn't get a grade high enough according to your expectations, that's fine. You can retake it as many times as you want, and the platform will overwrite if your score is better. And you can, of course, keep records of all the attempts that you took. So if you take the course 3 times, you will be able to see which of the different scores you received in each of the attempts. And we have a tip here that you may consult the theoretical materials by opening them in a different tab while attempting the quiz. I'm going to open now this is my managerial role, so I can show you everything. So I can show you in a nutshell what would be the quiz. If you preview the quiz, this is a message that you will get. You start the attempt, and we have questions like this, like multiple choice, but we have also drag and drop. There are many. We have drafted a quite comprehensive question bank, so it is not like if you retake it 10 times, you're going to see the same 10 questions. They are gathered from a quite big pool of options. So in case you retake it again, you will see different. So this would be the feeling. You have a timer here that counts those 25 minutes that we mentioned, and you always see your progress here. If you are not sure and you want to leave it blank, it's fine. You can clear your choice, go to the next one, and you leave one unanswered. You continue. You make your way through it. You give it a bit of thought and choose the different answers. And when you're ready to submit, that's fine. You progress to the final page. Let me remind you that there are 10 questions. And when you're ready to submit, you would reach the end of the quiz and and provide that answer. You finish the attempt. But before you actually submit it for evaluation, you're given the overview, and it says, hey, you saw all of the questions, but you only provided answers to one. So then maybe you want to, you want to check what you actually did before submitting. So you would go back to the questions and actually ensure that you give an answer. Like I said, you're able to have the theoretical materials opened at the same time. So it's also useful. You have 25 minutes, so you can take your time to read the theory back again in case you're unsure about any of the questions. When you're ready to submit, well, you submit and finish. Again, you have the extra filter that tells, hey, you have some questions that are not answered. So those ones are going to be incorrect, of course. Just for the sake of illustration, you see the quiz navigation here. So for instance, I submitted 2 answers, one is correct, one is wrong. If I go to the ones that I did not answer are by default wrong. So you're always given a feedback message that points you to the specific chapter of the theory where that answer would have been found. And also it tells you what the right answer would have been. So you can review the materials and actually review those bits that probably need a bit more time from your side. And you're given the context of the response. So it intends to actually be not only you complete the quiz, you get a grade, but rather we ensure that you can feed back into the materials to enhance, to upskill, and to get the knowledge that you need. That is the purpose of the training materials. And upon completion of the quiz, just like we said for the theoretical materials, this bubble would be completed, and you would see your progress in the updated here, right, in the general progress of the materials. And just like that, that's how you progress and how you make your way through the quizzes. Upon completion of the first module, which has theoretical materials that you need to view until the end and complete the quiz, you would be granted a badge. And your badge would appear here that would say a Smart Readiness Explorer when you finalize the first module. And just like that, that's how we have made our best to make it as user-friendly as possible and interactive and self-paced. And this is how you would experience the quizzes in the platform. If we would jump to the second module not only has the theory, but also has the quiz, but also has an exercise. The exercise would be, we can access it here. Again, I would go back to the feeling that you would get in this first page, this first user, where we just enrolled and created the assessment. But here, like it happened with the quiz, because I haven't completed the theoretical materials yet, I haven't viewed all of it. Also, not in the second module, I'm not able to see the exercise, but I can see the instructions. I can see what's in store for me when I reach that level that I can access the exercise. The instructions would be to log into the Smart Ready Go tool, which is the online open access assessment tool that my colleague Aphrodite mentioned, and who's one of the main developers is here with us, Nicholas Absentio from UPIA. We are giving you some information, and let me jump to the actual module with my master user so I can show you everything. I would access the exercise and I would read, okay, the instructions that I need to do is to log in the Smart Ready Go tool. I'll get to that in a minute. And I need to check the information of the case study, which is provided as an additional file. And I see that additional file here. So I would need to open it, read the information of that case study, and then make sure that I input the relevant data in the Smart Ready Go tool. First step would be to log in to the Smart Ready Go tool. The Smart Ready Go is accessed at smart-ready-go.eu. You have, I think the link was already provided in Aphrodite's presentation, but if you can also paste it in the chat for those that would like to access it. The login is quite easy. I've already logged in because you are able to log in through the Google account or creating one from scratch, similarly to the e-learning platform. So I have already been logged in, but just it's of course for free access, and it's quite seamless as well. So upon login to the Smart Ready Go platform, we would need to check the information. So you would download this PDF and see it. So it would look like this. And you're able to see a description of a building on the different aspects of it that have, let's say, not hidden, but that contain the information that you would need to retrieve as input data to be able to perform an SRI assessment. So you just read through it, become acquainted with the information, and here what we are testing is whether you are capable of inferring the information from this building overview and identify which are the inputs that you need to include in the tool to be able to become to perform the assessment. So we would go here, we would add a submission, and you make your way through the platform. Once you have checked the information on the case study, you need to click on assessment and method B within the Smart Ready Go platform. So I would go assessment, create a new project, and start defining the information of the exercise based on the information that I have here. Once you make your way through it, and for that, know that we have many tutorials in the platform that walk you through every different step, and that makes your life quite easy. Once you are done, once you think that you have completed the exercise, you would have, and let me show you a completed already project. Imagine that we have here, this is the project. Once you completed the materials, you can see the results. And when you see the results, you get back to it. And what you are required to submit is to export the results as a JSON file and submit your file for evaluation. So you would add a submission by clicking on this button and make sure that you attach the file that you export from the platform. And exporting that file is quite easy because you just need to click here on the export button. And by doing that, you would have completed the exercise and you would receive a grade in no time but one of the teachers, either myself or Nicholas. And yeah, upon completion of that module, you will be given a grade. And by receiving that grade, you most likely will have completed module 2. And upon completion of the module 2, you unlock the last module of the accreditation. And this last module is quite similar. You need to do something like that, but rather than needing to perform an exercise of a predefined case study that we provide you, we are asking you as a student to assess a building of your choosing. So you need to do the same process, but you also need to submit a final report using the template that we give here, so that you can also transparently describe the building you're assessing, so we can check whether that assessment that you submit with a JSON file is corresponding to the building that you are describing. And not only that, we're not only asking you to submit the current SRI assessment of the building, but we are also asking you to provide an upgrade proposal to check whether you are able to identify how the smartness of a building could be improved in the future. When you complete this last part, you are able to receive a diploma. And the diploma would be something like this, with your name, stating that you have completed the course with a grade, with the average grade of the course, and with a unique credential ID that you could bring to your LinkedIn profile. So as an example, just to do that, you would just need to go to your profile, add a license or certification, and complete it. A Smart Readiness Specialist, as it reads in the diploma. Your name is awarded by Smart Square, the date in which it was awarded, and a credential ID. And that credential is unique for you, and it can be verified. We can verify whether that credential actually was awarded or it's not there. Upon completion, you can just save and add it. You may even attach the PDF that you get as a diploma, and you can share with your network that you completed this learning itinerary and that the project awarded you that certification. This would be the complete journey, right? With this, I think I'm about to complete the presentation. Just let me quickly show you that I didn't get into the details of the additional resources. Within the additional resources, we not only have the template that you need to use to submit the final exercise of the SRI assessment of a real building, we also share with you a template that may be valuable for your professional practice. So when you visit a building, it contains some checklists, some information that is relevant for you to gather to perform high quality assessments. And we submit it in editable format, because you are more than free, of course, to use it in your professional practice in the future when the SRI, for instance, becomes mandatory in your country, which is, by the way, likely to be 2027. If you complete the course and would like to share your thoughts with us, we would love to hear from you, not only to report some mistakes that you can also do with the spot and report that we mentioned, but also if you have some areas for improvement, suggestions for new materials, we will gladly hear your thoughts. And of course, this is not subject to evaluation, but if you want to know more about the regulatory framework, we have prepared also what would be in a similar format as the theoretical materials, but we have digested the most relevant provisions on smart ready building set from the EPBD, also in an interactive, user-friendly manner that enables you to get a hold about why this is relevant, why should I get trained on this, and you can identify the specific milestones along the process. Of course, you see this quite small, but when you access the materials in your own computer, you'll be able to enlarge it, of course. So you're able to walk through everything that happened that brought us up to here regarding to the SRI and Smart Ready technology provisions. And also you can take a view about what is likely to happen in the future according to the EPBD. So you can also gather additional motivation if you didn't have any as to why you need to you will benefit from this course. Okay, so with this, I think I complete, and I'll be happy to take some questions. I don't know if we have some, but if not, just feel free to share your thoughts and tell me, and we can discuss them. I see in the chat that we have one from Samuel Smith. He says, is it saving in between, or do you have to do it one time for the 5 hours? No, really. You can take it at your own time. So you can start anywhere, progress as far as you can on that given day, for instance, and then exit the activity or quit altogether. When you quit, for instance, and you get back to it, I did a demo like this earlier in the presentation where I went through all the first bit of the introduction. So when I access it back again, I've already consolidated that knowledge. I can, of course, go back to it and revisit it in case I want, but I don't have to retake it. I don't have to reread it. I already read it. I already reacted to the knowledge check question, so I have consolidated that progress. So for instance, last time I interacted with this, I consolidated 10% progress. When I leave, maybe I take further action and then I complete the heating module. So this will be updated. So I hope I answered to your question, Samuel. Yeah, no need to take it in one time. The platform will keep track of the progress. It is, yeah, it's completely free. That's a great question. So if you are here since the beginning, accessing the smartreadiness.eu link, you can create your own account. You can self-enroll into the course. And if you were here since the beginning, you saw that no payments, nothing was asked on that front. So this course is for free, is made available for free, and it's funded under the framework of the Smart Square project that my colleague Aphrodite presented earlier. The project ends in September this year. However, the platform will be integrated most likely into RIVAS, e-learning services, the Federation of European Heating, Ventilation, and Air Conditioning Associations, and we intend to keep the course available, and at least the one that deals with this general framework, and for free in the coming months. So yeah, if you have any more doubts, feel free to post them. And if not, I believe I didn't leave my contact information anywhere because this is not a presentation. But yeah, feel free to either write to the project general email, and if not, just might as well enroll and write me a private message through the chat, or you will be able to see my email, my credentials upon logging into the platform. So this is what the project got funded for. We are willing to support you and to solve any doubts you may have regarding the SRI in general, but also other resources of the project, like the open access web tool to assess the SRI of any building. And we encourage you to log in, go through the materials and use them, because you are the main users, and that's why we're here doing this work, and to support you and your fellow professionals in your practice to ensure that the smartness of the EU building stock is increased in the near future, as we have to do so. So yeah, I'll be quiet for a minute and remain at your disposal for anything else. Uh, I see something else in the chat. Um, yes, definitely the platform will be up and running indefinitely. Like it is not like in September when the project ends, it will become, let's say, not available anymore. However, the platform will be integrated into Reva's e-learning services, and yeah, it will be embedded in that structure. And to that end, I'm not in the place to say that it will be, let's say, free forever. Definitely in the short term, it will remain free. But as the platform evolves and as we include additional materials, there might be some commercial, non-commercial exploitation strategies. We will do our best to try to keep it free for the final users. But yeah, my key message would be enroll as soon as possible because we can ensure that it is free at least during this year. Most likely will remain as such also in 2026. But that yeah, it's out of my hands, let's say. Um, so yeah, sign up now and go through the materials as soon as possible. It's 8 hour worth of theoretical materials and you get a certificate at the end. And yeah, like if you don't know already by seeing the regulatory framework description that we have in the additional resources, you will soon realize that the checking the compliance of building automation and control systems, that's already required by the EPBD in some buildings, and that the SRI is very likely to become mandatory in 2027 to large non-residential buildings. So the time is quite ripe to get trained and to upskill your practice before it becomes mandatory. So to kind of gain also a competitive edge in your national markets. So yeah, that's a key message. Sign up now and access the materials as soon as possible.